Hi everyone, my name is Victoria Winter and this is my biology capstone service project presentation. And my community partner was Gateway Therapeutic Horsemanship. This is my senior project and I am really excited to be able to share it with all of you. So let's go ahead and get started. You can see there's a picture of me with one of the horses that I worked with during the service project, and that's just really a fun introduction about what this PowerPoint will be on. And I am incredibly excited to be able to share it with you all. So for the background, Gateway Therapeutic is a horse therapy center. They are there for disabled children and adults and help to provide equine assisted therapy to disabled people of all different backgrounds and ages. So Gateway Therapeutic Horsemanship's mission from their website is to improve the health and abilities of the special needs community in Baton Rouge and surrounding areas through the healing power of the horse. And they also had a little slogan on their website, and the slogan says, "Changing lives one stride at a time." So during my time there, I really think that they did a wonderful job fulfilling this mission and fulfilling this slogan, as every single person that I saw therapy provided to, their lives were changed because of the horses there and also because of the therapists and volunteers that worked with them as well. It's really a beautiful service that they provide, and I am incredibly grateful to have been a part of it. So their connection to science, the therapy that they provide is beneficial for disabled people of all ages. So I saw probably like a 4-year-old. Yeah, she was like 4 years old, tiny, and I also saw like an adult woman and an adult man. So their demographic is wide, and they have a lot of different age groups there. And the therapy is really beneficial as well. Like it's really nice therapy, and uh, I believe that there's a science behind that as well. So animal science also meets human science, as there really are healing properties of the horses from like emotional to physical, and it helps people build strength. Um, they have neurological and physical disabilities that people that are given this therapy. Um, and so these neurological and physical disabilities affect countless people. The therapy is commonly used in pediatric patients as well, and that's what my service project and research project kind of focused on. So we can go ahead and go to the next slide. So how this connects to my personal vacation, I firmly believe that I'm being called to become a pediatrician who serves as a medical missionary overseas, both domestically and internationally. My heart's desire is to be able to share the love of Christ through the gift of medicine. So I really want to have that be my ministry to people, and be able to share my faith through medicine, and to be able to lead people to Christ by serving them. And I want to be able to, evangelize, and this can be a really helpful tool to share the love of Christ. I really also want to improve access to medicine in underserved communities in the South, so Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, North South Carolina, wherever the Lord takes me, really is where I want to start. But there's so many healthcare disparities, especially in the South, with marginalized and stigmatized people groups, and I really want to break those stigmas and be able to improve healthcare access to these people. I also currently work as an ABA tech for autistic children, and I feel like working at Gateway helped me to kind of hone my skills working with disabled people and autistic children as well. It gave me experience with populations I hope to serve one day, and by serving in this service project, I am raising awareness for disabilities in equine therapy, and also helping to provide access to these beneficial treatments. So my community service project, what I exactly did, so I volunteered for 4 shifts, for a total of 10 hours. It was really significant because of the direct therapy that I helped provide. It was hands-on. I was able to lead the horses around the arena while people were actively riding on the horses. So it was a wonderful experience. I gained horse skills and also interpersonal skills with disabled people, which I think is huge in the medical field and also in the ABA field, in psychology, just in everyday life. Like these skills are crucial just to having healthy and good relationships. So the direct impacts that I made, I directly assisted with 6 hands-on therapy sessions by leading horses around an arena and ensuring patients remained stable. I met 4 individual patients and build relationships with them. Um, so I did do 6 therapy sessions. So 2 of the patients were I had actually seen them twice. I cleaned 5 dirty horse stalls. I also filled 20 big water troughs for with water for thirsty horses, and I also helped with a lot of other just various barn activities. Helped out with other therapy sessions in other ways. Helped out, like all different things, like miscellaneous. But they were also equally as impactful for everyone involved in the therapy sessions. So now let's go ahead and move on to the to the scientific method portion of this presentation. So this is my little kind of scientific method project that I conducted. So for my observation, 25% of the patients that I helped with were actually pediatric, and the rest were adults. So if you look at this pie chart, I made a little pie chart. So it displays the ratio of pediatric patients to adult patients observed at Gateway. So you can see that only 25% of the kids, of the patients were actually kids. So my question was, how aware of equine assisted therapy are caregivers of children with autism, and how willing are they to get their child involved? And so my hypothesis was pediatric patients are not heavily involved in equine assisted therapy because of the lack of caregiver awareness. So my prediction was, through conducting surveys, it will be found that equine therapists will say that awareness needs to be raised for equine assisted therapy, and caregivers of children with autism are relatively unaware of equine assisted therapy. So on this slide, you can actually see that was me dropping off some pamphlets of information on Gateway, and also the survey that I gave out to caregivers of the children who I actually give therapy with at my ABA clinic. So I was able to survey all the caregivers on the children that I am paid for to give therapy. So this was the design. Um, the so first, I surveyed therapists and volunteers at Gateway Therapeutic Horsemanship on how to improve equine assisted therapy. So basically, I asked them, how do you think we could improve pediatric participation in equine therapy? And then once I got the results, I surveyed caregivers of autistic children in the ABA clinic I work at on how likely they would be to put their child in equine therapy, followed by giving them an informational pamphlet. So here's all the questions. I won't read out all of them, but I will read out all of them in one of the next slides. So, scientific method. So the 6 employees or volunteers at Gateway were asked how they could improve pediatric participation at Gateway, and actually 50% indicated that equine assisted therapy needs more awareness. So after that, I decided to survey some caregivers at my ABA clinic. So I asked them a series of 4 questions on a scale. They were all on a scale of 1 to 10. So the first question was, how much do you know about equine assisted therapy? And their average score was 3.5. The next question was, how likely are you to ask your child's pediatrician, therapist, BZBA, or other healthcare provider about equine assisted therapy for your child? And their average score was 4.6. And then the next question, how likely are you to recommend equine assisted therapy to a friend? They said 4.7. And then, how likely are you to put your child in equine assisted therapy? So that got an average score of 5.5. So 13 people were asked these questions, and these were the results. So it kind of indicates that they're not really that aware of equine assisted therapy, but they're a little bit more willing to put their child in equine assisted therapy. So I feel like this is huge. I feel like this calls for we really need to raise more awareness on equine assisted therapy, because the benefits of it are just incredibly astronomical. Like the benefits and improvements seen in the child that I helped provide service for, it was incredible how much that she improved just a little time. And I feel like more children, if they were given the chance of participating in equine assisted therapy, would actually be able to experience those benefits themselves, and we could help fight the stigma of autism and other disabilities, and also raise awareness for autism, as well as raising awareness for this therapy that has so much potential to change lives. So most therapists and volunteers at Gateway agree that awareness on equine assisted therapy needs to be raised. So caregivers are relatively unaware of pediatric equine assisted therapy, as seen in the results from the survey that I gave them. Caregivers are relatively more willing to put their child in equine therapy relative to the awareness that they have. So I feel like we can make progress through this. So I firmly believe through this project that more awareness should be raised on equine assisted therapy to improve the lives of pediatric patients. So just some limitations of my project. It was a small sample size at both facilities. There were 6 people that I interviewed at Gateway, and there were 13 caregivers I interviewed at the pediatric clinic that I work at. So it was a small sample size, but then again, that was the only really sample size that was available for the design of this project. Only one pediatric ABA clinic and only one equine therapy center was surveyed. So what I saw, that differences in individual child's needs and behaviors may contribute to caregiver answer choices. So I feel like some of the parents are more hesitant to putting their child in equine therapy just because of the child's personality or the difficulty of their behaviors or anything else that the child may struggle with. But then again, I really do feel like that by raising awareness for the therapy and that it's open to everyone, we can get more children in it. But those differences in the needs can definitely contribute to the different scores of the survey. And also socioeconomic factors may also have contributed to caregiver answer choices. Some caregivers actually did write down a little note for me. They said that they would be willing to put their child in equine assisted therapy where the cost is lower. So that's another thing to take into consideration. But overall, I really firmly believe that Gateway Therapeutic Horsemanship and all other equine assisted therapy centers are incredibly beneficial to children with autism and other people with disabilities. And if we can break down the stigmas surrounding disabilities and autism, as well as raise awareness for this incredible therapy, improvements can be seen in the lives of these precious people, and their lives can be changed forever for the better. So thank you all so much for watching. Here's the references for Gateway Therapeutic, and also the photo that I used on my vocation page. The rest of the photos were taken by me while the service project. But thank you all so much for listening and paying attention. This has been an absolutely wonderful class, and I am incredibly honored to be able to have participated in the service project.